Making this film is so special, but also it required a maestro in Tommy and a visionary.
But he kind of stopped me and went, Katie, Star Wars is a lot bigger than Moana. And I was like, okay, let me have my moment, please.
Dwayne, for you, having been on this journey, especially with Catherine over these last few years, how has it been watching her, this young woman, just step into herself before your eyes?
Oh, it's been amazing. For Tommy and I both, I think you watch this. She was 17, I think, when she stepped on our set. These are big shoes to fill, but I think automatically, intrinsically in Catherine, she, respectfully, those are shoes that just can't be filled. So I'm going to create my own shoes, and I'm going to walk my own path, and I want to do it in the spirit of which I feel it. And that's what she did in the film, and I'm just so happy. I called Tommy when I saw the final cut, and it was beautiful, and she did beautiful. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
We're so proud of her.
I think some of my, a core memory that I remember is all the moments where we kind of were standing on the boat, the three of us. Tommy is such an active director, and there is no point where he's passive or sitting back or kind of hiding. You're always going to see him. So whenever he'd give a note, he'd make sure he'd climb all the way onto the boat, which is quite an endeavor when you're on a massive tank, but he was always on the boat to kind of give us notes and direction personally, which I did really appreciate. So any moment where it's just the three of us and we're kind of in our own world, and it is just Moana and Maui on the boat, but we couldn't have sailed it without Tommy at all.
Obviously, music is a huge part in this film. You mentioned Lynn. So what Lynn kind of magic can we expect with this new film?
Well, I'm happy to say that all the songs that you have been singing at home for the last 10 years are in the movie. And as we announced today, there's a new song that Lynn wrote for the end credits. It's both of our Moanas with Maui. And we thought this was a chance to have a conversation that you could only imagine. How do you have the music sort of talk from one movie to the other? And I think the power of these Moana films,
Very cool.
in the first one and the second one, is that the songs stay with us. Even if you're not watching the movie for the 73rd time, you're singing that song for the 173rd time. So that's what I think stays inside, and the chance to be back with the music, but to have these new interpretations. You know, DJ went and did You're Welcome Again. We didn't just rewind to 2016 because he's not who he was. And so he needed to step into this Maui and find it in that way. So it was just a joy to be with this music that I'd only heard when we were making Hamilton. Lynn was doing Moana. And I said, will you get down from can you come work on the real show? So it was nice to be able to actually be in the room as we were making it this time.
I saw this photo of your mom getting emotional when you were at a fitting, trying on the ceremonial dress.
That's very cool.
How was that experience for you? And yeah, take me into this role as Moana.
I feel like my mom is my biggest advocate. She's always going to be by my side, and to get to share those kind of first initial experiences with her, there's nobody else I'd rather share them with. I feel like she has been my biggest kind of advocate through this whole thing. She was there when I was auditioning, and she's kind of followed me through this entire process. So getting to try those costumes on for the first time and really see myself as Moana, I mean, it's a hard thing to do because when you're looking in the mirror, you see Moana from the neck down, and then it's your face, and you're like, that's not Moana. So I feel like over the course of this process up until now, I've kind of come to terms with that I am Moana. I did that. I've done that. And kind of now talking about the film, everything is kind of starting to set in a bit more.
Yeah, it's sunk in.
Yeah, a little bit.
You are Moana. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
I heard as well you spent a couple days on sea really
I
learning
did.
how
Oh
to
my gosh.
voyage and all of that. How was that experience?
I'm definitely far more impressed with what Moana did now that I've kind of experienced what it's like. Yeah, I had the pleasure of working with the Hawaiian Voyaging Society, I believe is their name. But I had a beautiful teacher, his name was Nakoa, and he was so lovely and so kind, and he had that true kind of Moana wayfinder spirit of just loving being out on the ocean and having so much fun with voyaging. So it already started quite a positive relationship with being on the boat. Obviously being on the boat out at sea is far more fun than being on a boat in a sound stage, but I still had an absolute blast out there. I didn't flip the boat once, which I was incredibly impressed with, but I got to share that experience with my youngest sister as well, so that was really fun.
Dwayne, I know you brought up your grandfather, so how did you keep him close throughout this? How did you honor him in this live action role?
Oh, I thought about him daily, and from the moment you put everything on and you become Maui, from the wig to the look to the tattoos and everything, it was very effortless to have him so close. And I will say, and not because he's sitting next to me, is this whole thing is so special, and making this film is so special, but also it requires a maestro in Tommy and a visionary. You've had a story that people are not only familiar with the original Moana, but beloved. And so automatically people are protective of that. And they're like, okay, well, what are you guys gonna do? And we were all protective, by the way, including Tommy. And he said very early, he said to me, hey, at the end of the day, let's reach for the top shelf.
Yeah.
With this film, let's go for it. And I love that term, and we did that, and here we are. So the reason why I'm saying that is because of his visionary and because of his process and how he was directing me every day, I was able to keep my grandfather very close. And he recognized that, and he knew that, and he embraced it too.
It was something we were all very proud to make, and we tried to make it in a way we could be proud of. And when you have this guy leading the charge, you know you're heading in the right direction.
Working and collabing with Ali'i, and getting to work alongside her, did she give you any advice about what it's like stepping kind of into the stardom of being a Disney princess?
I feel like we both have such interesting experiences kind of stepping into this role. I mean, she did it so young, and you know, the things that she did and the things she had to conquer when she was such a young age, I feel like I've taken pieces of that and tried to embed them into myself to kind of emulate what she did. But kind of getting to work with her on this press tour and getting to be a part of her experience and her getting to be a part of mine, I think it's something really special, and it's really uniting the fact that we are Moana and this is what we represent, and we're two completely different kind of cultures, her being Hawaiian and me being Samoan, but we represent the same places and we represent the same people, and we're kind of showing off where we come from to the world.
Oh, that's so sweet. Of course, your dad as well, Jay, is an actor. A lot of Star Wars fans know him as Typho from the first trilogy of Star Wars. How proud is he of all of everything that you're doing?
I actually had a great chat with him right before I left, because I was sitting on my couch with my dad. I just kind of went and sat with him while he was watching a movie, and I started freaking out that what if it's not good? What if I'm not good? What if people don't like it? You kind of have all of those intrusive thoughts setting on you, and this would have been 1 or 2 days before I left, and he kind of was sitting with me and just breathing with me and spoke to me about how it doesn't matter if people don't like it. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at where you've been. You have inspired so many young people and so many young women to do what you do by putting your face and putting yourself out there. Whether or not you get positive or negative feedback, people are looking at Pacific Islander cultures, and I feel like that was something that was really special and important to me, and I'm really glad that he kind of gets to come with me on this journey, and I get to represent not only the Pacific Islands, but him as a person.
Yeah, I can see how that would feel like a lot of pressure, but you're killing it, so that's
Thank
so
you.
great. And the thought that like he has action figures out there, and now you have action figures out there.
I know. We actually had a chat about that where I was talking to him. I don't know what I was talking to him about, but he kind of stopped me and went, Katie, Star Wars is a lot bigger than Moana. And I was like, okay, let me have my moment, please.
Depends who you ask. If you ask
Exactly,
an 8-year-old
I
today,
said, ask any 7-year-old girl out there, I promise you.
yeah, I'll do a survey. I'll get back to you.
Perfect.
Amazing. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
chatting.
much.